Y'all, this is China here with the India's Fuck podcast, and we got Domo Genesis.
I'm
Thank you
here.
for coming to the LRG headquarters.
For sure.
How are you today?
I'm good. Long drive over here, but I'm
Yeah.
here now, so no complaints.
Yay. So walk me through like a typical day of yours. I mean, you I feel like have been gone for such a long time, just purging, and you talk about it in a lot of different interviews.
Mhm.
We'll get into that. But what is your day in a life right now currently looking like for you?
I've been really tapped back in and obsessed with the work.
Mhm.
So I've really been in the studio every day, but really like my whole routine, I'm running like 4 or 5 miles a day right now. I wake up and put my running shoes on, get out the door.
I heard it was 7. Wait, so are you running? Okay, I think it was like 7 minutes. So you said it in an interview. You're like, you were really proud about it. You're like, I'm running a mile in 7 minutes. Is it still 7?
Well,
or
I'm trying to hit 7.
Okay.
My time is 8:06, the
Okay.
lowest I've got.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to get into the 7s. That's like a goal of mine.
Hell yeah.
Looked up like I didn't used to be a runner like at all,
Mhm.
and then I was like, all right, I want to get into some form of workout that I can get addicted to, and like running has a runner's high. So once I start doing it and getting that feeling, and it just got addictive to the point where I'm like, okay, I want to be elite at this. And then I looked up what the times are, and like 6, 5, 6, 7, it's like elite times. So I'm trying to get there.
That is dope. And I work out too, but like running is, I definitely don't run, but it is something that I do.
Running is an acquired taste. Like,
It
you gotta want to
is.
do it.
It
Like,
is.
Yeah, like,
For
it's not for
sure.
everybody.
Not at all. So within that time of stillness, that last year, was it last year that it was like your purging year? Tell me about just, I guess, the progression of that and what state of mind you were in
Well,
and wanting to take those steps.
I forget where I heard this, but it may be something biblical. It may not be, but I heard like the best thing to do when you don't know what to do is nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Yeah, nothing. You just stop. You like let things happen around you, and you assess your space and what you mean to the space that you exist in. Right. So I did a lot of self-assessment. I hitting the wall on inspiration, on creativity, on stuff like that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just pause for a second and to reevaluate how much love I have for myself and how much love I have for what I'm doing, and how can I make each of those relationships better.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like what inspired that stillness. It's just like I forget where I heard that quote from, but it was like, when you don't know what to do nothing.
I also I like that quote, and I like how you also talk about just being water and fluid and just kind of being in flow state for the most part. You kind of had this realization when you were in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Was that okay?
Yep.
What was it about Hawaii that kind of made you want to think about things a little differently?
So I'm a Pisces. I'm already a water sign.
Yeah.
So like any place that's like island style where it's water on every side of you, I kind of just feel balanced in that. Hawaii was like one of those places where like when I first went, I didn't know my favorite animal was a whale at first.
Really?
You know? But like
Whales are cool.
I'm driving on a highway, and you see signs that say like whale breaches, be careful. Like you know how they have deer crossing and shit. So you see like the whales breaching, and it's like, oh, is it that serious,
Yeah.
right? So we out there with during whale season, so they were breaching out of the water, and it like captivated me in a way that was like, I'm like, oh, I understand what these signs are for. You can get in a car accident off of how just majestic this shit is to look at. You know, it's
So
just,
it was actually a bunch of whales. Like I've never ever seen a whale.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
they have whale season in out here pretty much. Like, and I'm trying to think of what city exactly, but there's you can whale watch here. Like,
Okay.
here. But like I think it's March through April and out there, and
Okay.
it's like that's the most I've ever seen. Like,
Wow.
it's insane. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
So coming back, you just decided to even detox off of social media. How was that? I feel like with being an artist, like I feel like there's a constant pressure of like having the social media presence. So how was the detox stage?
Well, I always say you gotta love yourself and what you do first before you get to the point where you could even like function normally in the kind of crazy thing that we in, like the entertainment business. So I say like when it came to doing that, it was just a decision that wasn't so much rap. Like it was like I can't make every decision for my human life based off rap shit. You know what I mean? It can't be like what it means to my career all the time and all this. And that is a lot of responsibility to have to think about. But sometimes you got to be a human first to be able to do the rap shit. You know, you got to be able to take care of yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally to be in good shape. They always say you got to love yourself or you can love somebody else.
Exactly.
So it's like there's times in life where we fall out a little bit out of love with ourselves and the things that we doing, and I think you got to be able to accurately attack that at the time. Some people are like to stuff that in the back of their mind or to be like, I'm not happy and still try to function at 100%, but it's impossible. Yeah. So it's like with me, I just kind of see like what's needed from a human perspective, from a rap perspective. It's like, hey, if y'all want me to be the best rapper I'm going to be, I need to take care of myself as a human, you know?
I love that. During that time, were you making music or writing music still, or just like solely focusing on just like yourself?
I'm obsessed with the music shit, so yeah, I'm writing and doing that the whole time. It's just that the urgency to like actually go to the lab or like actually be in the mix or the hubbub. But yeah, I'm always writing and doing shit.
What made last year the perfect time to start re-releasing?
I really don't know. Sometimes you just get a feeling. You just get like a thing that tells you like, yeah, it's right now. Like, or you completed this process. It's like it's innate sometimes. Like I don't believe in coincidence and stuff like that. I more so believe that like when you know, when people say I got these voices in my head, they either steering you in the right way or it's something that you're supposed to get over. So I feel like when you get those moments that be like, yeah, do this right now, that intuition, you got to just go for that.
And I like how you called the project What You Don't Get. Yeah. Like when it came out, what do you feel like you've gotten now since 2023 to 2025?
A lot of knowledge, like a lot of self-exploration, a lot of things that I maybe neglected or took it for granted in that time frame. I feel like I just did a lot of growing since then. Like I've learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how I interact within the world around me. You know what I mean? So it's like how much I mean to people around me, or how much I don't mean to the people around me, and how much they need to be cut off. So. Period. I just gained a lot of knowledge in that time frame.
Right. And the cool thing about your music, though, I feel like it just really captures like the time and the space. So it doesn't even really matter like when you drop it. I feel like it's just always relevant. Talk about this new piece of music that you're putting out. I know I've been seeing you actually collabing with like a lot of artists as of recent, but talk about like the newness of 2025 dropping.
I feel like it's a innocence back in what I'm doing. Like the fun part of like when you were doing shit before it was for the bread, or like when it was just for the art or for the sport. Like I'm in sport mode right now. Like I just like to spar. I like to get in the ring, and you know, if it's other people that whose sword is sharp, I like to see where mine measure up against that. Like I'm just in a really good mood for the art and the sport right now, and I feel like that's kind of what's inspiring this. And it all go back to what I said. Like I'm just spiritually in line right now. I'm like my head is in a good space. I'm just I'm great. I'm good to compete at the moment.
So are we gonna get an album this year then?
I
feel like you're aligning to an album, right?
Maybe multiple.
So what's your take on dropping singles and an album and EPs?
I'm with all of that. Like I got something for each one of those now. So I'm with all that.
Okay, I'm like, are we gonna get like a blue Corolla? I know you have like the red and the red and the purple. I'm like, can we get a blue?
There's stuff along this storyline, the theme of that go with it, the update to what that mindset was. Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay, so being in such I want to say one of the biggest legendary groups of Los Angeles, being a part of Oddfuture, do you feel like I don't know, like, what is the balance that you feel that you have to have with that? Because I know a lot of people know you from that situation, but also, doing your own thing, and you've always been doing your own thing. How do you find a balance of just being an artist within that?
I always say people that come from something like that, like have a different type of journey, because first you got to go through the whole thing of how big that was and widespread it happened, and how it affected a lot of people, and you get stuck in that time frame coming from a group in people's minds that way. So a lot of the work that I did in between coming from the group and going there was just kind of to shed my skin. I was purposely saying like taking Oddfuture out my name of this, because I always wanted to stand on my own too, and that was just a dream of mine. Like you know what I mean, just being on my own after the group. I loved everything that had to do with the group. Those are my brothers for life. Yeah. But it's like I always wanted to stand on my own too and prove that I could do it from a solo perspective. And like 2 years ago, I believe now, or maybe a year, if the time is right, I did my first headlining tour. And that was like a major milestone for me.
Flying Anakin, right?
Yeah. I was super happy to do that, and it turned out super well. So it's like, to me right now, I just feel like I'm chiseling away at being who I am from a solo perspective. You know what I mean?
And talk about that. I mean, like your tour, Fly Anakin. I've interviewed him before. super awesome,
Yeah.
like artist
That's
for the
my
most
man.
part. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I realize that you guys are just more than music friends within this. Like you guys
Yeah.
have like a brotherhood type of friendship. From the interviews that I've seen, you guys seem like you guys are really close.
We
Talk
intertwined.
about that. Yeah.
So, because Gray Matter is like from they whole group in VA, the Mutant Academy.
Mm-hmm.
So like he came out here and we kind of got intertwined. Like I got music with Gray. Like one of the albums that I got coming out is with him,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, that's his people. So we kind of working hand in hand with each other. Like it was a no brainer to go with Frank when we did the tour. He was like, yeah, it just makes sense from both what we doing, and then Gray was able to go. It's just a family unit kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about some of your favorite tour stories.
Oh, we got some funny ones from that last tour.
Yeah,
There's some funny ones from that last tour.
Tell me your favorite, funniest one.
I would tell you that Seattle was a crazy place when we was there. I don't know why randomly Seattle was just fucking in over its own head. Like, we went out there and we had like one of the craziest studio sessions of all time.
Who was in the studio session?
It was all of us, and then we recorded at like a clothing store, so it was just like a little different. We were so desperate to get on a studio session off, we just kind of put it together last minute. But Seattle was crazy. The homies was getting vertigo standing in that joint, that spin around the stratosphere joint. Like, it was all type of funny stuff going on in Seattle.
Okay.
Then I got really drunk in Boston on stage because I thought the show was gonna be bad. I like before my set, it wasn't like nobody in the crowd. So I'm like, oh, this gonna be a bad one, so I'm gonna get slammed, like, right? So I get super drunk. I go outside, it's a full crowd.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm like, I made it count though. They said I killed it. I don't remember anything from it though.
Okay, sure. That's true artistry. So the fact that you have a project with both Evidence and Alchemist, can you talk about, I guess, a creative process between those two producers? What do you like about Alchemist, and how does he do it different than Evidence, I would say?
With Al, like over there, it feels like he got that kind of soul that you feel like you've been knowing somebody for a long time.
It's like training, right?
Yeah, it's like he like a long lost relative in a way. Like he got that warm feeling where it don't feel like the pressure. From the first day I went over there and rapped, I never felt pressure to perform over there. It just felt like he was like, yeah, this gonna work. So I felt good about it. And I would say with Ev is super intentional. Like he brought some of the best parts out of me when I wasn't as inspired as I am today. Like the way that he pushed towards things, and he's looking for perfection, not in a typical sense where it's like, let's get this absolutely perfect, but where he can push you to the best version of yourself. And I feel like that unlocked a lot of shit in my process, a lot of shit in my pen, like my confidence in doing shit. Like just that year when I was coming back when we did intros, like Ev did a lot. His work is very intentional, if I had to describe it in one word.
Sick. I mean, it's really cool, you know, the fact that you've been able to work with both of them. Who are some of the producers that you're working with currently for like a lot of this new stuff that's getting ready to drop out?
Gray Matter and I have some stuff. My homegirl Amber from Moonchild, if you heard the group Moonchild, we got a project together. Yeah, that's a random little nice one. Like.
Okay.
And then me and Conductor working on something too.
Okay, Conductor. Okay. I really like your storytelling. I feel like that is like one of your strong suits. What kind of stories are we going to be hearing within this theme of the music dropping this year as well?
I kind of just like, my whole thing with music is like I like to live a little life before I can hit. Like I don't believe in writer's block. I believe that you just not living enough life, or you may not be inspired at the time. So it's like I believe in like taking trips or taking time off to go be a human and shit, because you need things to talk about. So everything I go for is just an accurate update of what my mind state, like where I'm actively being in. And I just try to give people. I feel like I got a true underdog story. So, like, I try to relate to people that are kind of like me. You know what I'm saying? I try to give them juice on an everyday basis that they can get through with. If you need a little dose of inspiration, get it from this.
Awesome. And then the last question I have for you, what is inspiring you right now, Domo Genesis?
That's a good question, because I went through a dry spot with inspiration. But I had, funny enough, like, I'm watching Righteous Gemstones, good-ass show. What else? I watched White Lotus, good ass show. I recently listened to Young Roddy Project with all his homies. What's the you know the name of that? The company we keep. That joint got me inspired.
Okay.
I didn't know. Like I heard that joint, and I'm like, nah, they all spazzed on that. So those are like three things at this exact moment that I'm like getting juice from.
Awesome. Well, I am so thankful for you to come on the Indie as Fuck podcast and just bless us, Domo Genesis, here at the LRG headquarters.
I'm here, LRG, Indie as Fuck podcast.
Stay tuned for everything that he has planned this year, you guys. It's
or don't and be weird, you know?
Yeah, it'll be weird if you didn't. Thank y'all. Thank you, Domo.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome.
Thank you.